Test, 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 test.
It's weird.
Are we,
She asked her doctor and her doctor's like, yeah, they're.
okay, folks, let's get going. We're just past 10:30. Finance will catch up. Looks like Jim's doing the invocation. Dave is doing the pledge. Feel free to join by rising.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we commit this meeting to you. Come and reveal your will in every aspect of our life. And as we discuss the affairs of Berrien County, we ask for your will to be done. Show us your purposes. Enlighten us that we may know how you want us to accomplish our tasks. We desire your glory and blessings in all we do. Direct our thoughts, words, decisions, and actions towards the right path and help us stay on track. Let your will be done as we plan and make decisions. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't forget to turn off your phones. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bell. Curran,
Here.
Freeling, Harrison,
Here.
Hinkleman, Ott. Here. Pittsford,
President.
Tyler. Here. Bullrath,
Here.
Werfel. Here. Yarborough, and Elliott.
Here.
So you have 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
So
finance, I'm
9 present.
guessing, is busy.
Yeah.
Minutes from a week ago, from the 27th, need to be approved. Is there a motion? Moved by Pitchford. Is there
I'll second
support?
it.
Supported by Tyler. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, have we communications?
We have 4 communications, an email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, fun affordable spring break ideas received on 3/3. An email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, time's running out, Creative Connections Reward ends April 30th, received 3/3. An email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, 2025 annual meeting, save the date, received on 3/4. And then Livingston County Resolution 2025-02-023, a resolution to support local control and claim of appeal against Michigan Public Service Commission order, received on 3/5. That is all the communication.
All right, thank you. It's time for our favorite part of the meeting, mine anyway, requisition review.
Good morning. Does anybody have any questions about the requisition list that was sent out? Nope. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, public comments about the resolutions, and that would include the added resolutions ending in 152 and 158. All right. Apparently there aren't any, so we'll go ahead and do the consent calendar.
I make a motion that we accept the consent calendar with the 2 added resolutions.
Very good. So
I'll
moved,
second it.
moved by Curran, supported by Tyler. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bullrath. Ott. Yes. Werfel.
Yes.
Freeling is absent, Werfel is absent, Elliott,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Bell is absent, Pittsford,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
and Curran.
Yes.
Okay, consent calendar is approved, including the 2 added resolutions. So let me move this so I can see what's next. Committee reports. Mr. Chair of PHS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met this morning, went through a number of items, some of the resolutions that were on your calendar for today. We talked about, and we're going, if you remember, we're going through all our board policies. And so there'll be more coming. I'll touch on a few of those today. So we had a complement change in 911, hiring authorization for HR director. change in the Berrien Mental Health Authority pension program. This is a result of union negotiations. And then on your consent calendar, the road department complement change. So we did talk through all of those. We also had a visit from the Register of Deeds. Laura Freeling came in, gave us her semi-annual update. That was very informative. And then we had our administrator come in, talk a bit about some work being done on one of the lakes here in the county. And we also have a couple other policies we'll be talking, we're going to do some work on. One relates to the per diem policy. One is the attendance at conferences, and then also location of conferences. And so we're going to talk through some of those and see where we go with those. And so we'll have more policies for you to consider in the next couple months. So this is the high part of our job and responsibility, pouring over these.
Questions for PHS? All right, Mr. Chair of Admin.
Thanks, Mac. First in to see us this morning was the sheriff and the undersheriff, and Dave would like to report out on that.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, the sheriff, Chuck and undersheriff were in this morning, and one thing that the sheriff wanted highlighted was that the Department of Corrections came in for their inspection. I think it's annual. And we got very high marks for our kitchen and our medical. So that's a really good thing, because that's a great improvement to our medical. Those are very important to any jail and anywhere, and those are doing well. So we're happy about that. Township leads the way with 314 calls for service last month. There were 1,164 calls for service in the month. That's 41.5 calls a day that they are going out on. So Sheriff Department, very busy. They've got starting to get ready for the Marine for the summer, and look outside. Hopefully they're put the snow machines away soon.
Dave, are you?
We got
Got it.
it's hidden down here by coffee. Sorry. That's okay. That's pretty much my report.
Thanks, Dave. After the sheriff, we had Judge Mayfield and the court administrator Carrie Smetanka Haney in to see us. The first thing that they identified for us was the positions that they have opening. They have 18 positions that are open, which is about stagnant for them. That's about what they've been running. They said they are being proactive in filling those positions, and noted that a number of positions, as she has them listed here, they're vacancies because there are people moving up, not because there's people who are leaving. They also brought to us House Bill 5046. This is an increase in the transcript fees. So it will be going from an original copy is $1.75 now. It'll be going to $3.75 per page. That's for the original. And then for a copy, it's currently 30 cents per page, and it'll be going to 90 cents per page. She talked to us a little bit about the J Works, and she was in to see us, I think it was in November sometime, and we asked about a 6-month window to bring us an update, which would put us either now or next month. And so I asked Carrie if she was ready to do that. She said, yeah. So I told her we'd get with Brian and schedule that. I would think we want everybody there. So it'd be like the committee of the whole. And our former clerk requested that the current clerk be present for that presentation, because it does impact obviously the clerk's office. So Brian, I guess that I'm notifying you now that we can do that. They had their employees, annual employee awards. So there's 3 of them. The Joe Zangaro Excellence in Service Award went to Hope Leach out at the juvenile probation. The Ronald Kenzel United in Service Award winner went to Irma Johnson, as in the friend of the court. She said that Irma has 30 years with the agency, but she came as a, what did she say, a temp right out of high school or something like that. So she's been around a long time. And then Employee of the Year winner is Luke Whitman with pretrial services. And then lastly, the judge said that they dusted off their strategic plan. I think Commissioner Harrison and I participated in their strategic planning that was done in 2022. The judge just wanted to make sure that that doesn't collect dust and get lost in the shuffle, so she has brought that to the top of their list to do. After the judge, Brian was in to talk to us about the boat ramp in Bainbridge Township. Just wanted everyone to be aware that we're waiting on Eagle. It's not us, it's not anybody else. We have to get the permit from Eagle before we can move forward. So as the weather gets nicer, people are gonna wanna use it, and it's status quo until we get the permit from Eagle. So he just wanted everyone to be aware of that. And I think I just helped your cause, Brian, by telling everyone that. So anybody listening, including on Zoom, will know we're waiting on Eagle. It's not us. And then Caitlin, along with Brian, was in to see us this morning, talked about the operations manager position, and then they went to PHS. We were perfectly fine with that. And then Mark from the road department and Brian was in to see us about the engineering tech position that also went to PHS, which I think was on the consent calendar. We're okay with that. We do not have any resolutions for you, and that is our report.
Questions for admin? Madam Chair of Finance, you're on.
Okay, I'm ready. Our administrator was in with us and he talked to us about the Pipestone Creek also. And it's good to know that it's going to be done. We had a visit from our print department. Our new director is Christine Okan Waterhouse. And when we came in, there was something on our desk. And I thought, I like that. And then I realized this. So she said she is the print department and we've got a lot of pretty colors. And so she has been with us a month already. And she did an analysis of the department and what is happening there. She's been able to know the things that she needed. And just, this is what she gave us. And her request also was to go with a company that when we get through with this, will be like Staples or whatever, and some software that's in the cloud, whatever that means.
Yes.
That's in the cloud, and our different departments will be able to choose things. And if they don't have the ability or quite know what they're doing, then in her department, they will help, and it'll be much easier because we're working to be a business, a printing business. And so we don't know, we'll have good reports of things that will happen there. So we welcome her. Then I'd like to let you know that we had waivers and, well, let me go back. We have resolutions. There were 2 of them that were passed today and not resolution. And then next week, we will bring to you on March 13th, resolution number 2503156, and that's with the solid waste management and Eagle. So you'll hear about it and know about it. And then the waivers that we had, one was for a company called Forever Redwood, and it's for working on used to be a shed or whatever at Love Creek. What they did, was this the Miller? It was donated to us, the piece of property, or we paid for it. It's in the middle of Love Creek. And one of the things they did, it had a fireplace. And so Love Creek dismantled it, and hopefully it's going to be placed back in this new redwood. And they chose this company because the redwood is less likely to get molded and different things like from the other companies. Then we did a waiver with Max Air Systems for the health department, a waiver for contract administration, construction, repair with the road department, and that's about that Bakertown building, a garage. And then a waiver with on-print shop, and that was what Christine was asking for the printing department. And then Logicalis, it's the company that we use for all our phones and 911 and all, and it's a renewal of a 5-year contract. And so the total amount will be broken down and paid annually, what it is. And so it's an in-place company that we're already doing business with. And did the resolutions, we accepted our minutes, and that's it.
Questions for finance? Okay, then we'll go into commissioner reports and we'll go clockwise.
Three things. The first one, I just want to give a special shout out to Commissioner Jim Curran and the admin committee for approving the use of the courthouse parking lot for the city of St. Joe this upcoming summer season. The city has expressed gratitude for that, so thank you for that. I attended the trust investment committee meeting last week. We just talked about some of the different investments that the county has and some of the national trends and possible policy coming out of the federal government and how that's going to affect our investments. And then I also attended the BC BIT meeting this past Monday, where we met with some of the local township supervisors and some of the ISPs, and we discussed just closing that gap and trying to connect all county residents with high-speed internet. And I will be reaching out to my district township supervisors and city managers to hopefully get letters of support for those ISPs as they go after B grant dollars. So that concludes my report.
No report.
I attended on Saturday the LMC Student Benefit Auction for scholarships for the students. This week is the 6th annual Niles Restaurant Week. Prime Table, Iron Shoe Distillery, Front Street Pizza, and Grateful Pie Company will be featured. Please come. I already went to 2 of the restaurants this week already. On Monday, I attended the Niles Township meeting and I applaud the road department. They did an excellent job on the Shamrock Hill subdivision. It is the first in Berrien County to have a special assessment district just for a subdivision, not adding, like usually you see a municipality having a local millage. Now they can do a special assessment district instead, just for a certain area. And we had about 36 people in attendance, and that public hearing was 45 minutes long, so it was very thorough. But I applaud the road department. They did great. It was a very pleasant meeting. Also, yesterday I attended the Greater Niles Chamber of Commerce Buzz Breakfast. Sheriff Height was there. They allowed the elected to speak. They had the Berrien County Cancer Services to speak. They had CodeWorks, which is a business in Indiana and is also working in the Niles area. And the chamber was received. They're going to present 5 grants at $10,000, where it was provided by the Hunter Foundation to businesses for digital companies and needs. So that's all for my report.
I attended BC BIT. Ray talked about it a little bit. I'll leave some for the chair and for Brian. But, you know, for someone who's been on that since its inception was 7 years ago, it is really exciting to see that we're getting towards the end. Less than 2,000 parcels to be served, and just great work. It's been very fulfilling to be on that committee as well. That's my report.
Let's see here. I attended the ribbon cutting for the new Lakeside Fit in Bridgman. I definitely recommend everyone check out their new facility. They have all kinds of things in there for everyone of all ages, including a sauna, which is really cool. Gymnastic classes for kids up to ages of 10. So I recommend everyone take a look-see.
I attended the Lake Michigan College auction, and there was a good turnout of elected officials and county commissioners. So it was and they raised a significant amount of money.
Nice. Attended the St. Joe Township meeting this week. They did approve, I think, all their road projects for this year. And they did send kudos out to Dan Fetty came and presented at their noon workshop about the harbor. And they did in the evening pass the resolution for joining that. I think they had said Benton Harbor already had, City of Benton Harbor had, now they have, and St. Joe has it on their next agenda. So hopefully that's gonna be all done. And they did send their appreciation for the county willing to be the coordinator and the offer the administrative help.
I too attended the Trust Investment Advisory on Thursday after our meeting. And what is nice is to see that rate of return meeting those benchmarks that we've been hoping to hit at that 7% or greater. Since its inception, we've been able to keep pace with that so that we're meeting our obligations that way. I also sat in on a call talking to just get up to date on some of the different, there's a 5-bill package in the House right now being considered for some of this modular small nuclear reactors. And so getting up to speed on some of that information and just asking our legislators to be mindful of what incentives they're offering, that there not be unintended consequences down the road of potentially what we had experienced with what happened with Cook Nuclear and the tax abatement discussion. And so sat in on that. We did have the BC BIT meeting on Monday with municipalities. We had fairly good attendance considering that we do have large portion of the county covered. So I will encourage anybody who is looking to write those letters of support or you getting as commissioners of where to find that information. If you go to the county's website, go under community resources, it's the second tab. It says Berrien County Broadband Task Force page. Open that up. There's a whole bunch of dashboards that are available. There's a template letter of support that has been created. Kim Fennison from our community development office is absolutely knocking it out of the ballpark and getting that information gathered and getting it to the municipalities and also working with the different internet service providers. I think we had 5 internet service providers that were there at the meeting saying they were looking actively at submitting a BEAD application for Berrien County. Like Commissioner Kern said, we have just a little under 2,000 addresses or parcels that still are considered unserved. All of those touch some of our municipalities one way or another. So it wouldn't hurt because each ISP needs 10 letters of support in order for them to get the points that are offered through the competitive grant process. If you have more questions, feel free to touch base with me and ask me or any of the BC BIT members or even our administrator. I did attend the Village of Baroda's monthly meeting and sat through their budgeting process. That was wonderful. But lots of good work happening throughout the county, and it is always a pleasure to serve. That's my report.
Thank you. I attended the investment committee meeting also, and really pleased. Usually when we for our and just as Commissioner Freeling said, we had it at making at least 7%. And I don't know why, but 11.2% comes to my mind of how high our investments have grown. And so we left alone, whatever it is. And it was very interesting. We've not had a meeting in quite some time. And so we'll try to do things more like quarterly or half year so that we can keep up with it. That was it.
Just as a follow-up to the BEAD discussion, we will be working on formal letters of support. So Commissioner Freeling, on behalf of the committee, can you just briefly describe what is intended to go out from the county? I just want to make sure that the full group is aware.
So BC meets next Thursday after this meeting. The intention and the discussion that will happen at BC is that we would do a formal letter of support, but not do resolution, because there is no dollars actually tied to what's being asked from the internet service providers. And typically we save resolutions for if there's an in-kind request or actual financial contribution. So there will be a formal letter that will be offered for consideration for this board to sign as a whole. But outside of that, no resolution.
So just for the board, this would be the rollout of federal dollars to the state of Michigan, state down to the internet service providers. 0 local match sought from the county, 0 sought from the townships. Literally, all that is requested is localized statements of support. So we've got a couple of thousand remaining addresses to get connected. This is going to be one of the last major pushes to get those connections constructed. And for BC Bit, it seems like an absolute no-brainer to do letters of support to all 5 of the internet service providers that are bringing forward applications to seek funding and to construct. But just want to make sure that you all are aware of what is being planned, and then it will percolate up to the other board.
Question?
When I attended the Niles Township meeting, I spoke about that, and Niles Township supervisor and one of the trustees said they were on virtually, and they stated that they still had 200 parcels unserved in Niles Township.
I was gonna ask, could we get a list of which townships have parcels so
Yeah.
that we can help with those letters maybe?
If I may, Mr. Chair. That information is actually on the dashboard on our BC Bit page. So you can actually see those and click on it. But we'll also make certain that we push it out to the commissioners.
You're welcome.
Okay. General public comments. If anyone wishes to be heard, just come up to the podium. The microphone is on. Name and town if you wish to opine. Yes, sir.
Belter Hager. I've been sick the last couple of days or a couple of weeks. So that's why I wasn't here. Okay, now I got a statement from, I don't know, somebody from the township, or they're raising my taxes again. You know, the property taxes, my value went up 3%. So that means my next tax statement's gonna be 3% more. I told you a couple of months ago, it already went up 5%. I already paid that bill. So the next bill coming out will be 5 plus 3, 8% increase. 8. What am I getting from my Social Security? 2.5%. So what the hell's going on? So you think about that. Social Security, they're ripping us off right there too, because they seem to think that 2.5%. That's about what they figure. Then you ask somebody else. Well, no, the inflation is about 8% or 7% or 6%. They can't make up their minds. But everybody, somebody ought to just come out with it. That's it right there. Inflation is 2% or 3%. No. This guy says it's 7% or 8%. Therefore, our taxes are going to go up 5%. I don't like that either. Goes up 5% and I'm getting 2.5%. So I'm complaining about that. I don't know what you can do about it. Thank you.
It's good to see you. Yes, sir.
Sean Hill, City of St. Joe. That's a good point. I'd like an alternative to property taxes, period. I think there should be, but I'm here actually a couple of weeks ago. I think Sharon, I'm going to give you credit where credit is due. I felt like you were looking out for our taxpayer money by turning down the proposal to keep the consulting group for the county. So I'm going to give you credit where credit is due, because I feel like she was looking out for our taxpayer money. And yeah, it's for grants. I get that. But as far as what we're spending here in the county, I would think there's somebody in Brian's office that could actually get information on those grants. I understand it's to have influence in Lansing, but we have influence in Lansing through our politicians. So, I think it's a waste of money, and I agree with you. And I'm just giving credit where credit is due. I think as a whole, when we've seen all this stuff coming out in the Doge for the federal government, I think it's something that Berrien County needs to actually consider too. I think there's a lot of money out there being spent on crazy things. That's why we're having to get the 8% increase in our taxes for our properties. Essentially we pay for our properties, and then if you think about it, we're leasing it back from the government. That doesn't make any sense. We own the property. So just want to state that and give credit for credit.
Thank you,
for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Does anyone else wish to be heard? Okay, business. Do we have any? Apparently not. I don't see any announcements or reminders, so we stand adjourned till Thursday next at 8:35. I'm seeing 11:03 a.m.